Well, good morning. Welcome along to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. We are almost set for a cracking day of hockey in this EuroHockey Championship 2. Full card of fixtures. It's the final day of the group phase, and it is all these set of games. Russia against Wales gets us going very shortly in around about 5 minutes time. Switzerland against the Czech Republic is the other game in the pool, and Russia and Wales, well, this might make or break the pool. Russia get a win, that could help them out and qualify them with Wales. France and Portugal, Scotland against Ukraine are the two later games, but our main focus for the moment is on this pool, which is Pool B. And there is a look at it. Wales with 6 points, so they're looking to try and win the group, but if Russia was to win, they would go to 7, and that would mean those two would go through. If Wales were to win, that would guarantee top spot, and the Czech Republic would have a chance in the game against Switzerland, who are already going to be facing the relegation games. So then let's look at the sides, and Russia are a side that had a tricky game against the Czech Republic on Monday rather, I should say. Mikhail Proskarnikov did get a goal which saved them from a defeat against the Czechs. They've got a few talented players still in their squad. One of the stars of the side may well be come from the likes of Myrak Karyon, who at just the 15th cap today, 23-year-old, can be a tricky player in the D, and also one or two others in there as well, including Svichkovsky, Nikitin, Myrev can all score goals from different sort of positions and from penalty corners. Let's look at the Wales side, and there it is on screen for you, and very much a big start from James Kyriakides, 3 goals so far, a couple on Monday. James Carstenfeld scored 4 in the big win against Switzerland. He'll be looking to add to that tally once more. Gareth Furlong is the threat from penalty corners. Daniel Newcombe is the head coach, and it is a side that, remember, came up from the 3rd tier of this competition after winning back promotion in 2015. We've discussed plenty about Wales though, in terms of a side probably a little bit better than a side newly promoted into the 2nd tier, especially with their recent run of form, as the sides make way onto the field of play. Stephen Percy, cap for Scotland, Uddingston player, currently Director of Hockey at Uddingston, joins myself, Carl Patterson, in the commentary box here. Stephen, great to have you back with us. You've seen Russia the other night against the Czech Republic. It was a feisty old game, rescued themselves a point. Wales are almost there and getting through, but want to top the group. What do you expect from this?
Yeah, thanks, good morning. Good game on Monday. I think Russia will feel a wee bit disappointed having had so many chances and would have expected to win the game and sealed a semi-final spot there and then. They've got a tougher game today. Again, I think it will be quite even, because Wales, as much as we've said they've got promoted recently, it was probably a kind of darker phase in their development. Danny Newcombe coming in as the head coach. A lot of his new coaching concepts and doing really well for the Welsh team. So I think, based on the World League performance recently, based on what they've done at this tournament, you know, they're up there in terms of one of the power teams. So I wouldn't really like to see them. I'd like to see them win.
Please remain standing for the Welsh national anthem.
So that was the anthems, and we're a couple of minutes away from getting the day's hockey underway. And a busy full day, and of course a rest day tomorrow, and then we have the knockout phase come the weekend. Just confirmation of the officials: Makasim Perepalisata from Ukraine, Nick Bennett from England, the two umpires. I'm looking at the standings. Obviously we talked about the standings before the anthems. Wales and Russia in the driving seat. You know, a little draw might be the perfect result for both. Wales top the group, Russia sitting second. There is a bit of a thing now that if results go to the plan in another group, Scotland maybe will win that group with their 2 wins. France could be the second place team. You know, if you're thinking Russia, maybe we'll just take a point, try and get through. If a certain game is a bit tight, and see if they can just nick a point, and then maybe avoid France, because one or two sides would maybe have been thinking France would top the group, but it shows you how good a performance it was, how clinical it was from Scotland to beat France. So there's a lot of permutations going on in here.
Yeah, it can get complicated at this stage in the tournament because it's a results-based industry, and points can ultimately, and even goals can mean, you know, a position in the table. I don't think these guys will be thinking about who they get in the semi-final at this stage. You know, there's no much between Scotland and France, and in the semi-finals in years gone by we've seen that it's a cup final. It's 2 cup finals to promotion or winning the tournament. So from that point of view, anything can happen. I think what they'll be comfortable in looking to do first and foremost is just get a semi-final berth. For the Welsh, they can maybe take the eyes off of this game a little bit because they're going to get something. But like I said, they'll be comfortable, they'll be confident, they'll be thinking they can go toe to toe with anybody, and they'll still want to win the game, I'm sure. But Russia, you know, they have to do something with that second game coming with the Czech Republic and Switzerland. Really, this is the opportunity for them to take something and guarantee their semi-final berth. Otherwise, it's out their own hands.
It is a half-decent spot for the Welsh to be in, though. With their 6 points in a prime spot, is just about for them first or second. So Russia get us going in the white, and from left to right through the first couple of quarters, and a few fans in as well, making some early noise in the stand, and it's been good to see a good contingent from all the sides here in the stands. And all the games so far, been supporters coming from all parts of Europe for this competition.
I think players' families are always really happy to come and support them. They know that they sacrifice a lot of time, a lot of family time, to be as good a hockey player as they can. So from that point of view, they're always willing, particularly the Welsh, because, you know, it's not too far away. It's maybe a bit easier than coming for Russia.
Who doesn't want a little week's holiday in Glasgow?
Exactly, it's nice when the sun shines. You know, perfect day for hockey.
A bit of sun, it's a little overcast at the moment, but fair, quite warm as well, a little bit muggy. Here is Walker trying to fire something across the D early on, and it wasn't a bad one.
Good awareness from the goalkeeper. You know, he's just been happy to step over that. What you often find is players working hard to get the back post, so he obviously knew there was no one around.
Picked up by Kai Rowan for Russia. Finding it difficult against the Czech Republic, but got some reward after up under pressure late on in that game.
Russia just happy to have a bit of the ball here. They were fairly consistent. They did that on Monday against the Czech Republic, started brightly, but the Welsh players are quite comfortable. They're soaking that pressure up.
Forward for Draper. Wales with some possession here. James Kiriakidis, who's had an excellent start to this tournament. A couple of goals against the Swiss and one in the opening day. Shipperley, nice control on an early drive. Going to stay just in play here. Coming in to help is Francis on the turn.
He'll be looking to see if he can win a corner here.
Might still wriggle through. Stephen Kelly keeping a watchful eye, but darted away.
Yeah, good pressure there. Welsh quite happy to have the ball on the D and just be patient and see what comes of it. So from that point of view, maybe a bit disappointed. They've got a kind of shot on target, not too difficult for the goalie, but they'll be looking for something a bit more and potentially some short corners as well.
Puts her down to Furlong. We'll stay with Wales and with Daniel Kyriakidis trying to find something black. It bounced off a leg. It looked like it and penalty corner. First one, and it's taken a little over 3 minutes.
Yeah, they'll be pleased. That's what we're talking about. You know, they'll be wanting these types of opportunities. International teams are looking to score a high percentage. You know, definitely in the 60s and 70s would be a very, very effective penalty corner attack. So if they can get enough and they've got the quality from the top of the D, then they're going to get goals. Maybe on the opposite side, we've seen Russia have a lot of chances on Monday, but they fail to convert. So you need to win the corners, but you also need to put them away.
Despite all the goals against the Swiss, Wales didn't have their best of nights from penalty corners. So we're looking to try and remedy this and get an early goal here. It is Furlong. It's saved away off the line by the keeper. Very good job indeed from Marat Gafarov.
So just like the Russians on Monday, first corners went right down the throat of the goalie. You need to find the angles, you need to find the corners. Again, not too surprising, but the Welsh corner, they've got the two batteries, so that means that they've got the two stick stoppers, so it's really difficult for that number one runner, that first runner, to decide which tower he's going to go to. Buys a wee bit more time for the drag flicker to get his shot away.
Bobbed up long and it might bounce here. Anton Kornilov thought he was maybe going to sneak in.
It's almost that one's just almost too easy. You know, too much time to see it down and watch it onto the stick, and you just lose a bit of concentration while it's in there.
Shipperley running down the line, just interrupted by Kornilov.
I think they'll be looking to use Shipperley a lot down that right hand side to create and attack the D, start getting some penetrating balls and see if he can get the Welsh ahead here.
Furlong for Gooch. Flood of black jerseys forward there. Darted back by Daniel Kyriakidis. Now in it comes. Never took a nick on the way through, despite Kelly being just in front of the keeper.
It's a nice ball. So he's lifted it a little bit as it goes in the D. Some speed on it as well, makes it very hard to try and do anything with it as a defender. And it also means that if a defender does touch it, it's likely to bobble around and still be within the D. So it's a very good ball to the back post. Russians just happy to sit at half court here, just soak up the pressure. Welsh happy having the ball, just slowly building the game up. Like we've seen on Monday, it was a slow burner. You know, I don't think the guys will be want to go too gung ho from the start. They'll be want to feel the game out. Don't take too much risk and just see what opportunities they can create without creating too much risk for themselves.
A lot on the line in this game. Gooch forward it went, post it. Daniel Kyriakidis, Hutchison, nice interlinking passes in the tight space. Rattle that one off. Nicotine, who did well to keep it.
Yeah, good link up play down the left hand side. People moving to support the ball carrier. Makes it easy when people are willing to put in the work and give you options. And if you can find the passes, it looks very good as well.
Wales, good pressing and pressure for them to get this back. And kept pretty much majority of the ball so far. Down for Daniel Kyriakidis once more. Hutchinson rattles into the day. And we'll take the long corner from it.
He's quite happy to settle for the long corner there. I thought he had the potential to try and get back on the ball and make an action in the day, either a foot or just trying to get the ball under control.
Hutchinson's ball came 2-0, so Anton Kornilov runs away.
It's a talented Russian team, you know, a lot of youngsters, very, very hard working, but they just have to find each other and settle down the match. It's getting away from them a little bit, find it difficult to get out.
Furlong to Daniel Kyriakidis. It's again into a good spot, but despite 5-6 bodies of each colour in there, no one could pick up.
So the Welsh are looking to put on a lot of high pressure, continuing with that theme of either asking the Russians to just throw the ball away or having the ability to win the ball high up. But they failed to split the pitch here, so Russia is now out to the other side. It should make it a wee bit easier.
Dolan Gray, good strength to steal it off Spichkovsky, and just not quite getting too much going around the edge of the day as yet for this Wales side, despite the pressure. But that's one mark there by Carson. Spin, turn, needs some help. He has found some help. Right-o scramble, Mugridge trying to keep it alive and away by the baseline.
Yeah, a lot of risk there. Carson, tournament top goal scorer, so definitely knows his way around the day, finds the pass, and then umpire judges there's no foul. Play continues, but it goes over the baseline. So I'd be expecting the Russians just to look and keep hold of the ball here. A bit of respite more than anything, you know, they've been under pressure for the last 5-6 minutes. They'll just want to touch the ball and just stop the Welsh attack.
Pusku Arikov that scored, equalising it to Czech Republic. Hammering it was by Nikitin. Oh, is it going to come through here?
Oh,
and is it off the armour? Thumbs out, and it is going to be a penalty corner. It was the strike from Pavel Protechki, and one half chance. Russia nearly took it there.
yeah, that's an interesting one, because if it's adjudged to hit his body rather than the stick here,
Dangerous.
well, no, it's a shot and goal, and the distance between the ball and the player is good, so it should be a penalty if it's adjudged that that shot was on target. So I think what they've decided is that it has touched the stick of the Welsh defender.
Yeah, they changed their mind after the penalty corner.
So they've went for the long corner rather than the penalty.
So change your mind as we've seen the replay. Russia get on with it. Kyle rolling it down in that tight spot, linking up well with Zalotinov. Nikitin across here, and could be more space down this channel for Spichkovsky this time. Good defensive work. Bill Gray trying to keep it down that side. Spichkovsky try again, and they have worked into the D. Little snap effort from Zalotinov. Couldn't find anyone else in white, though inside the circle.
Yeah, the Russians will be happy here. They're getting a bit more ball, managing to put the Welsh under pressure. But they'll see that common theme from Monday. They're happy to attack down the sides and go along the baseline. We don't see them attack through the centre too often, but at international level you don't really get afforded that luxury. You know, a lot of teams are very happy to protect that space and don't allow you to play through there, so the Russians will just have to settle for baseline attacks.
Good try is loose. Zalotynov couldn't quite keep it under control, so Gooch can get it back. Coming together. I'll just ease that, but that was a little dicey. Daniel Kiriakidis, so it's through the legs. Here's Hawker here for it. Well come up, Francis around, and it's fired too far away by Jacob Draper.
Yeah, Draper's done well there. You know, he's picked up the ball quite narrow to where the goal is. He's taken his touch towards the centre of the pitch to buy him some more space, better angle, but he's not connected with the ball properly. So that means that he's missed the target and not worried the Russian goalkeeper. See here that there's quite a big gap. Help's coming now, but a few seconds ago there was a big gap between the Russian defensive unit, the outletting unit, and the forward players. Midfield maybe taking a wee bit of a breather.
Kornilov, good run on this. Nicely helped out its way. Kuriev, keeper has to come out and just knee it away, kick it away, David Kettle. Open up a bit more as the quarter has went on.
Game's been quite even, to be honest. I mean, two parts to the quarter really. Wales started brightly, had a few opportunities and had a kind of regular attempt at goal, whereas Russia a few minutes ago were able to capitalise, but Wales with a quick free hit. Been called back. Yeah, so you know, Wales started better. Russia's had their chances. It's been quite even, but I would expect the second to stay like that until you know, really Russia have to come out and do something.
Well, that didn't come to anything Russia trying to break. I did say though, you know, if it gets longer and it's tight, Russia might prefer just to take the point and at least guarantee getting through.
Yeah, they might actually do to Russia.
Oh, nice again, Shapili this time!
Nice save.
And it's an excellent save across there. Was Gafarov and smothered that away.
Yeah, sorry, Russia might do to Wales what Czech Republic did to Russia on Monday. You know, Russia were the far more dominant team and had more chances, but it was the Czech Republic who led for most of the match, and then Russia got an equaliser towards the end. So it might be a game like that, but in reverse for Russia. They might just have to weather the storm and see what chances they can create and stay in it as long as they can. Time's running out though, so they've got a wee bit more urgency to try and get something before the quarter ends.
Andrei Kuriev need to find someone, and that's going to trickle out. And the D goes again, just dotted away by one wall.
Yeah, the Welsh are hanging on, so they're not being overly worried, to be honest, but they definitely don't want to concede 15 seconds before the end of the quarter.
Oh. That'll do for the end of the quarter. No goals, and as we kind of mentioned there, a tale of two halves to the quarter. Wales started pretty well, had a lot of the ball for 7 or 8 minutes, and then the last sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes, Russia had a bit more opportunity about them, a bit more inclination to go and attack, and had one or two moments, but as it stands, it is 0-0 as we head into the couple-minute break. So, even Stevens.
Yeah, and I don't think any of the two coaching teams here will be overly annoyed or overly worried about what they've seen. You know, that's teams are going to get chances. You just have to stay in it as long as you can, and they'll just be looking for minor tweaks here. They'll be saying, you know, let's try and get the ball in maybe a different pickup zone or do it more often and get key guys on the ball to create. But yeah, it's again a slow burner. We're just tactically waiting to see who makes the first move, and that might spark the game into life. Probably more so for Russia because they need it more, I would say. But certainly Wales won't want to lose either.
Well, Russia got off to a start. It's been a difficult tournament for them so far, with the tight game against the Czech Republic, but also it was a tight game with Switzerland. You see what Wales did to Switzerland, which I think maybe was a bit unrepresentative of how Switzerland played. Just a bit unfortunate, a couple of moments, and they were punished. The Swiss Wales kind of ran a bit riot in the end, but it was a difficult game against Switzerland. The draw against the Czech Republic Wales have been fairly good so far. They had the tight game against the Czech Republic themselves, but it shows this group, I think when the draw was made and we've seen the way the pools were lined up, everyone kind of thought Scotland and France should be the favourites out of that pool, although Ukraine aren't out of it yet. But in this group, there is a case of, although Wales back in the second tier in the European competition, you know, there's probably 3 sides trying to get out of this group, and that's no disrespect to a reasonably good Switzerland side. So it all leads for an exciting day. If results go their way, the Czech Republic might be just in the ground here, watching on with some nails getting bitten, to hope they've got a game to really play for next.
Yeah, I think they'll have somebody with a keen eye on it, although I don't think it'll affect their game plan too much. I think, you know, last night and this morning they'll be consistent that they want to go here and win a game against Switzerland to give them the best possible chance regardless of what happens here. But let's say, I'm sure somebody for their management team's having an eye on it and just feeding back the information. It's always good to know what you have to do.
Positive start here to the second quarter for Russia. Zalutinov trying to spot the gap and spot the run of Laptev in front. It was well cut out by Furlong.
As the game goes on, you might start to find that just the difference in experience might just take over. Looking at the Welsh squad, you can see that a lot of these guys are playing their hockey in the English national leagues. 5-6 years ago, you often found that a lot of the Welsh players were based in Wales, some in England, but I think a higher percentage now are in England, so higher level of competition, and that might just stand them in good stead to see the game through. It's difficult to know about the Russians. You don't know about the level of the league, and you don't know how many of these guys are playing in leagues throughout Europe, so that experience from the Welsh side might be enough just to see them through, plus the fact that they're in the driving seat.
Yeah, the Russians are predominantly more home-based, but the Wales side, you mentioned a lot of them play abroad, and the ones that are still based in Wales, the majority of them are the youngsters that Cardiff met, so it shows the developments. But like Scotland, some of the better players moving away as some of these second-tier teams develop. Some of the better players are heading into pro deals and the like.
Yeah, like I said, guys make a huge commitment, and hockey for a lot of people is a hobby, but there are a few guys who get the opportunity to make hockey their life for a short period of time. So like the Scottish guys, the Welsh guys, I'm sure are moving in and around England. Even the guys who are at Cardiff and Met, they're still competing in the English leagues, so they're in the kind of second tier, the East Conference. So the level of hockey will be a lot better there than it will be in Wales, and I'm sure the players are going to be better for that.
Gooch, it's a nice ball, and Carson can't smuggle it. It's a right old mess, and I think we need a wee bit of a breather here. Certainly the keeper will, because he was getting pummeled there with the ball. Yeah,
under a lot of pressure. He's done well. I think we'll restart for a bully because the ball's been trapped by both players. Oh, I think that's a wee bit harsh. The ball's trapped. The goalkeeper, if it was inside his pads or caught underneath him, then I would understand that. But if we look at the replay here,
let's have a look at this.
It's an excellent pass for a start across the face of goal. But the ball is on the outside. You see, it's just in the face of his glove, so it's not caught underneath his body. The goalkeeper is actively trying to push it away. Equally, the Welsh forward's pushing it back in towards the goalkeeper. So probably a wee bit harsh for Russia there. Maybe it should have been a bully. You often find that when the ball's trapped and nowhere to go, they'll just stop the game and restart.
Well, they do have a penalty going on Wales. Hutchinson to inject here. Gareth Furlong, it's away off the leg of Gafarov.
It's a good save. He looked like he was off balance, diving to the keeper's left, and the balls came fairly centrally, so he's adjusted well to save. But again, I think the Welsh will be wanting to do better. They want to find the corners.
Sergei Spechkovsky took a sore one to the hand. Daniel Kyriakidis to the left was screaming for it, just out of shot, but space has been closed up a bit now, so Wales decide to go a different route. Here is Prosser out, here is the ball though, but Kyriakidis is wanting, Daniel Kyriakidis. Dinny weaving through the gap, Lovely stuff from Denny. Penalty corner.
Yeah, well worked. So he's got on the baseline, he's got in a powerful position where he can control the ball. And again, if you look at replay, you'll see he gets loads of time to get his head up. As the Russian coach, I'd be a bit disappointed. In a second, you'll see that after this tackle, defender doesn't stay in it, no pressure on the ball carrier. Easy enough to find a foot in there, and the Welsh get another opportunity to score from the corner.
Yeah, rattled off Pavel Plzetzky. And Dale Hutchinson heading across once more.
So this is attempt number 3. I think they'll drag flick. Looks like a preferred option, but they'll have to do better.
Well, Dolegary in the pocket now. Carson's still there. There's a line break, is it? Or is it
no,
he's just going to...
I think the umpire's saying that his hand was still in the air, so not allowed to take the corner until he's happy. So everyone's still in. No. Oh.
And they're going to change up here for Daniel Kyriakidis making the run to take the ejection.
So the important thing here is that, okay, the guy who injected the ball broke the line, so he has to go, but it's easy enough for the Welsh to bring someone into that position.
They don't lose a player, so
yeah,
it's still a positive spot for them. So try again. It's going to be Carson, and it's another excellent save. And I'll tell you what, Ryan Gaffel is having a very good game here.
Yeah, he's doing everything asked of him at the moment. You know, the Welsh who found the corner there. It's probably a more difficult save, but he's got the stick down and deflected it, so he's done well.
And it rattles
nice
from
touch.
Gooch. Carson there once more, and again the keeper smuggling and smothering and trying to keep that in his grasp away from the goal.
I think he's going to have to do a lot of that today. He's very alert, very quick off his line, sees the danger and deals with it. So I think the Russian defence will be very happy with the way their goalkeeper's playing at the moment, just keeping them out of trouble.
Similar pattern to the first quarter. Good start from Wales. Skapersky spotted and found. Ball into Kornilov. And away it goes to Samuelsville, couldn't keep it in play.
Welsh looking to commit a lot of numbers here. They've got 5, I think, within the final quarter. So obviously very comfortable to build up with a limited number of players. But they'll need those players back now because they're trying to defend on the counter. But Russia just can't keep hold of the ball.
Here's Gooch. Closer. Daniel Kyriakidis behind. Under 10 minutes now left in this quarter to half time. Wall. Spotty space down that side. Into the knee it comes. Then they try to keep it alive, and they do have another penalty corner. A few in succession here coming.
Russian defence will just have to be careful. You know, that's a few that we want to try and tidy up their work in the day. I'm guessing that the foul there for the corner was from a stick obstruction or a stick contact. It was quite light. I don't think there was anything too serious there, but it's enough for the corner. So they'll just have to tidy up their work in the day because it's only a matter of time. You can only give teams so many chances. You know, they're going to take one eventually.
Dale Hutchinson then. We're looking not to false start at this time.
It'll be interesting to see if they actually change the corner here rather than just flick from the top.
Francis and Hawker are in position. It's going to be Hawker, and another save parried away by Marek Gafarov.
Doesn't look like they've got the quality from the top to beat the Russian goalkeeper in this form, so I think 4 corners in.
And they've changed it up as well.
Yeah,
different players and different spots.
They're lining up the guys to have a bash, so I would say that they might want to revert to changing it if they're looking to score. But as a coach, you're thinking, you know, there's no real pressure on the game at the moment. There's no maybe real need to show other teams in the tournament what you can do from your options. If you've got a banker corner that you know is maybe your best alternative option, maybe it's a bit unwise to use it here when maybe you don't really need to.
Loganov, and that was left here. It's going to stay in for Nikolai Komarov, but just ushered out of it by Daniel Kyriakidis. A nice idea if it was intentional, that is. But Loganov here found Laptev. Into the D it goes.
Yeah.
It bounced off our foot, it's just moving the lock on it.
I thought it, yeah, potential for the foot there. Good before that in the build-up, excellent connection and lead from the Russian players to pick up in the top right corner. They won it back and got into the D on the left-hand side. Good idea, you know, you're spinning, guys are so close to put you under pressure, the feet are sometimes open. But good defending, hit a Welsh stick, so no corner.
Could be a break time, almost fallen was Dinny, so just stopped him in his full flow tracks.
Russians just looking to keep hold of the ball. They've got a few substitutions lined up here on the side, so just trying to get fresh legs on and ready for the next phase of play. And likewise the Welsh are the same, you know, they've got 4 guys lined up here. I think as soon as they can get on the ball, they'll be looking to get all of these guys on and again fresh and ready to go.
Close to a nice space found for Mugridge. Here's Draper. Holding up, can't find anyone in black. Loganov there initially to try and disrupt. Now the break could be on Bichkovsky.
Yeah, good skills in there, you know. He's turned out of danger just for a second. Welsh player to put on pressure and he's just popped it up. So that's really good hands, hand speed, hand control just to get the ball out of that situation, and he's won a foul. So that was quite crafty, quite good.
Unfortunate slip there for Laptev.
It's happening a lot, you know, it's maybe 3 or 4 times we've seen guys in that top corner just slipping. Don't know if there's maybe a bit much water on it or wrong choice of footwear maybe, who knows, maybe it's the same couple of guys.
Francis making the run now. Into dart it past Bichkovsky, did so pretty well. Shipperley. Again a good spot and hands in the head of Luke Hawker in the middle of the D.
Yeah, captain unlucky there. You know, he's actually just drifted off of that back post area because he was being marked, but in the process of moving, the player on the ball's put his head down and passed to where he was before. So just dropped connection. A good counter here, good build up for the Russians.
Yeah, it was nice space. Pavel Golubev. Alexei Mayarov quickly on with it. 3-4 in the D now, a couple more on the fringes.
So same sort of technique from the Russian player there. He's spun and he's tried to open up the space underneath the stick for his for the Welsh player's foot to find the corner. But again, umpires ruled that he's found the hand, which in hockey is included as part of the stick, so that's no foul. So he's adjudged that he's taking the ball legally whilst defending the D.
Into the final 5 minutes of this second quarter, still goalless. A result which would maybe suit both sides, certainly would suit Wales as they would top the group and Russia would qualify in second, and could well probability face Scotland if they were to edge themselves to the top of the other pool in the semi-finals of the competition, which are on Friday. And it's not just the promotion that has to be dealt with. The sides that finish 3rd and 4th in each pool, they have to face each other in relegation games, which are perversely a little bit more exciting. It can be more full of tension and drama because they're trying to save their status.
Yeah, when you're in this the second category of European competition is always something to play for. So you're either in that group of teams who want to have a good tournament and get promoted, or you're at the other end of that and trying to fight for your life to stay in the division. So every game means something, particularly when you don't have a lot of leeway, a lot of room for error. So it really is important to get points on the board and play your matches well, or else your status in the division could be at stake. Yeah,
and it's a bit of a turnaround for those that are third or fourth, maybe lost a few games, trying to switch that mentality to right, we can win a couple of games now. Russia might not be in that problem though. Kyrulin looking for options. There is one or two there left and right. Kyrulin will try and battle himself, but will have the ball back for his side. Dmitry Laptev looking to hurry it on. Laptev in a tight spot.
Yeah, again, common theme for the Russians when they win fouls in around the D. That'll be dangerous. Yeah.
Could have taken off ahead.
So again, it's a similar theme for the Russians. When they win the ball in close proximity to the D, they are often self-passing and trying to play on a 1v1 to enter the D, trying to create in a 1v1 basis. Very rare that they'll have a set piece, or they'll maybe look to drop the ball deep to find space in other places. The only difference I'm noticing at the moment is that they're doing that a lot slower than what they did against the Czech Republic. You know, they're just taking that extra wee second to catch their breath, and that's no doubt because they've got a much stronger opponent in front of them at the moment who are happy and have possession of the ball.
Good stuff here from Kyriakidis, James Kyriakidis racing. Plenty of goals so far, trying to turn maybe provider, but Russia again deal with it, and could be a break here. Kyrulin in front. Is that going to be a cynical little nudge over from Draper? Just a quick warning.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't have been surprised if we've seen a green card for that type of breakdown, but from Draper, it's quite clever. You know, you don't have to come in with a big swinging stick and make a big deal of a foul, but he's used his body well and just nudged the Russian player off. Okay, gives away the foul, but it buys time for the Welsh players to come back and get in good position and close down the key areas of the pitch.
Laptev and Myrov a bit annoyed with each other. That didn't work out the routine in the corner. So head towards the last minute, and it's been a bit cagey from both sides. No goals as of yet, and Russia again towards the end of the quarter have had maybe slightly better of it. Again, not too much really between the two sides. Wales maybe with more ball, but not really doing an awful lot with it. That's high, but
that's surprising. You know, the aerial ball there's went into the space, and the Welsh player is leading into that space as the person further ahead, and the Russian is tracking that movement. So in my interpretation of the rule, because I know this is a difficult one that's often contested, we often find that the attacking player would benefit in that situation as the player first to the space.
Just the final chance, the last 30 seconds. Nikitin to try and blast in. Certainly claiming for it, and now there could be a bit of an overload here. Carson, it's just slipped behind him, and a bit of angst from the sidelines from the Welsh coaching team, because that was maybe a chance to break a ferocious little end. A hit and hope it, which is not going to find Nikolai Kamarov, and that'll be half time. There is the hooter, and goalless it is at the break as we head into the 10-minute breather, and nothing to separate the two sides here. Some half chances for both. Wales had a heck of a lot of penalty corners, but nothing really coming from them, and we'll look over some of the best of the action in a moment. But your thoughts? Nonetheless, been pretty much fair and square, probably the right result at the moment, right scoreline.
Yeah, spot on. I think it's a pretty even game, although Wales have probably have shaded the opportunities. You know, there's not much in it. I think any team could be happy with taking a goal, and you know, they're both capable of scoring. So yeah, 0-0 at the moment, but again, I think you'll start to see a change in body language from the Russian team. They'll be looking to step it up, because we know that it's maybe a wee bit more dependent on them winning whether they get that semi-final berth. So probably deserved at the moment just to go in at the break and take stock and try and make some changes for the second half.
Okay, let's look at a few of the moments. And here's one of a few series of penalty corners. I think that was the first one for Furlong. But basically, this is the main action Wales have had, and nothing really coming from it. Some great saves though. Gaffer's had a great first half.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, the ball is hitting the target. You know, that's more in the corner. The first two are right at him. He's still got to make the save. You know, sometimes the speed can beat the goalie, let alone just the direction. But at the moment, he's doing everything that's asked of him. He's saving the ball. He's keeping his team in the game. So, like I said, I would be surprised if the Welsh shows any corner options at this point in time, because they don't really need to. If they were losing the game, then maybe they'll do something different to get back in the game and maintain their first place within the group. But yeah, I'd be surprised actually if they do start changing it still when they're winning or at 0-0.
So then we'll take a pause there at half time. It's Russia 0, Wales 0. Welcome back, almost ready for the third quarter, for the half-time breather, and it is 0-0 here between Russia and Wales, and as it stands this would send both through into the semi-finals. We shall see how things develop. Stephen Percy is alongside himself, Carl Patterson in the commentary box. Are we expecting anything to liven up, or do you think as the game goes on maybe both sides will keep things tight to try and not avoid losing, particularly Russia?
Yeah, I think you find two different strategies here. The Welsh will be looking to build themselves into the game slowly, just not too much risk, step by step, see if they can actually get the goal, win the game. That's what they'll be looking to do. Russia, it's a different story. They go too crazy here and try and go gung-ho, they could lose. Lose a couple of goals, the game's done, and before they know it, they might not get that semi-final berth. They don't go hard enough, and the game passes them by. They don't take their chances, they don't win their corners, so Wales will be incrementally looking to build up. The Russians, they have to find the balance. They have to stay in the game as long as they can and try and at least draw, but maybe win.
James Kerekidis in. A penalty corner, and there is a penalty corner. Good work it was from Francis. Found the body part, and the umpire signal out very quickly at the start of this quarter.
Yeah, he's done well there. That first touch gets the ball under control really quickly. Good swivel and uses the backspace, as it's called, to get his shot away. Hard for the defender to get any influence on the ball. All he can really do is try and make a kind of physical block and stop shots from going to target. Fortunately, that means that sometimes you're going to give away the shot corners. So what are we at? Number 5 for Wales? 6 maybe?
5, I think.
Five shot corners for Wales, so 4 times we've seen the drag flick thus far. So as we can see, 2 towers again, drag flickers lined up. I would be surprised if they deviated from this.
Shipley for Furlong, and there is the reward, and it is him that does tend to score them. Gareth Furlong, and the breakthrough for Wales.
Much better, the speed is on the ball, but he finds the corner. Just going to see what tower they use. They've tended to use the right hand side a few times, probably favoured that, so they go left tower. So for Shipley, all he really has to do is flick down a straight line. That left battery, left tower, will be roughly in line with the left post. So the angle helps, the speed on the ball, and the fact that he can find the corner means that they take the lead in the game 1-0.
Drilled in by Gareth Furlong. And it is the lead for the Wales side. Furlong, who scored against the Czech Republic, the opener, from a penalty corner spot, and he's done it again. And Russia, now they need to come out here because they need to get something from the game, at least a point. And here they are now into the D, looking to try and get a quick turnaround, and it went all the way across the face of goal. I think it was Pavel Golubev trying to flick it across the face of goal.
It's a good save by the Welsh goalkeeper. He's come out, closed the angle. He's got that shot in the chest pad, I think, so it's just about being in the right. No, maybe that's the glove or the edge of the right leg guard. But it's about being in the right position. There's not a lot of reacting you can do from that distance. So he's done well. Good response by the Russians.
Taken by Draper here into the D. Is it going to fall for Shipley? Not quite. Madziakovsky doing well in the circle to get it back, and Russia might well see a real upwards of tempo for the rest of this quarter and potentially the game.
Yeah, the luxury of finding the balance is probably a wee bit gone now for Russia. They need something. A loss isn't good enough for them. It opens the door right up for the Czech Republic to go and sneak that semi-final spot. So they're going to have to play more aggressive. It's probably going to leave more space for Wales. And the Welsh now have something to hang on to, so they know if they can just keep their advantage, they'll finish the group top and they'll get the top spot going into the crossover semi-finals.
Hammered by Loganov. Second try to try and work its way in. Prosecco comes away with it with Shipperley. Wales could maybe break. Couple coming forward, including Draper in the middle, but Shipperley making the good run here on a foot race with Madiakovsky. Shipperley. That's going to be cynical, penalty corner. Card's going to come as well, and trouble is looming for the Russian side. Madiakovsky is off for 5 minutes.
I could see that coming. You know, I was going to jump in here. You look at the effort that the Russian player is putting in. He's struggling, really struggling to keep pace. Leads to a very reckless tackle, and you're going to get cards and corners all day long for that in the 25.
So Wales penalty corner, they will have the man advantage for 5.
Yeah, so they've got on the board, they know it works. Again, I would be even more reluctant to say that they're going to change it. There's no real need to show any of your opponents what you've got up your sleeve for these semi-final matches if it stays like this. So I'm sure they'll be looking to drag Flick again for the top, and I'd be surprised if it wasn't Furlong again who took it on, having scored the last one.
Walker's there too, but there's going to be Shipperley to inject this. It's going to be Furlong, the whiff of the net, and it's 2-0 Wales. It could well be 9 points on the table, and may well secure them the top spot in this group for the semi-finals. Yeah,
he's dialed in now. He's had a few warm-up sighters and he's hit the target with his last 2, so you'll be pleased with that one. This second one's an absolute beauty. Plenty of time, rips it right past the goalkeeper's shoulder into the top of the net. So Russia need to be careful here. 2-0, they go crazy and go trying to equalise too heavily, too early, too quickly. They could find themselves on a kind of Switzerland type of score level if they don't watch.
So quick as a flash in the first 4 minutes, and not even that on the clock in this third quarter rather, it is a 2-0 lead. And there's confirmation of Matikovsky, so that's a real punishing yellow card. They've lost a second goal through the penalty corner, and now they're a man light. And Russia, well, at the moment they're still in the box seat, but now it could be all down to the Czech Republic to try and defeat the Swiss by a goal or two, and that could turn this on its head for the side in Russia that were relegated and up there with France at the top table in 2015. But here they come though with Kornilov.
Good defending there.
Rattle it through.
Excellent defending on the baseline. But when we think about the groups, it's maybe a bit unwise for us to write off Switzerland. This also means that the Swiss, if they play well against the Czechs, they can also jump a position and finish a little bit higher and have an opportunity to get some important ranking points. So this result opens up the group a little bit, means that there's a lot to play for, but no doubt the Czechs will be the number 1 team, thinking there's a big opportunity to get in the top 2 and get to the semi-finals here.
Yeah, Daniel Kirikidis was shown a card as that goes out for the long corner. Kirikidis, I think the green card was flung up, but then a yellow card straight after, so I think he's off for 5 there. Kirikidis will wait for the confirmation.
Yeah, the upgrade from that green to yellow is no doubt just talking back to the ref, maybe unhappy with the decision, but you can't do that, especially at this level. They're going to quite happily
Russia in space, and it's a brilliant save from Kettle. Brilliant save from Kettle from the shot from Spitchkovsky.
Fantastic save. Welsh defenders just can't get close enough to put pressure on the shot, but goalkeeper digs him at hole, makes an excellent save. I think the Russians will be wondering what they need to do at this moment to get on the board.
So 10 against 10. Karikov found support, and to wriggle through was Golubev.
Yeah, free hit there, just too much pressure, too much body contact. So the Russians will get another opportunity close to the 25 here to make some more attacking plays and see if they can get that goal.
So that's from Karikov.
So here we go, another quick free hit, going for his 1v1, 3v1. But
corner given.
Just not far enough away, so because the Russians are very eager to take that ball quickly, the defenders don't often get enough time to get that 5 yards, 5 metres So if you engage the player who's driving with the ball or has control of the ball when you are within those 5 metres, then it's deemed as a foul inside the 25. That gets upgraded to a corner. So now the Russians have got a chance to peg them back, and that would make it really interesting into this quarter and potentially the game. Keeps them within touching distance.
Won by Kuriev with injection. Nicotine is there as his Laptev. Nicotine scored from a penalty corner in the game at Switzerland. It was a nice goal. It's going to be Laptev though. Oh, it's a different routine. Did it bounce off a Russian leg? No, it bounced up off a Welsh leg. Another penalty corner.
Yeah, and this happens more and more often in international hockey, and sometimes even in club hockey. What you find is that the number one runner, they're almost always happy or being encouraged to get their body in the line. You see they often wear knee pads, gloves, face masks. Basically they're just trying to get a block on the ball.
Kuriev again. It is going to be Nicotine. Oh, it's high. Similar move to the goal he scored against Switzerland. He came in to the left and slotted in the corner low, but this time it goes high and not very handsome.
It's not a bad corner, but the goalkeeper obviously knows he has to hit the backboard there if he's going to strike the ball. So he logs, goes down, creates a kind of physical barrier, and then it really is up to the Russian guy to hit the target or potentially a tip in, but he's just been too wild and that's well over the bar.
Turn from Dolan Gray for Wales. A rare 30 forward in the recent minutes, but continues into the D. Drives in, still going.
I'm surprised they allowed to play on there. There was a big bit of stick contact on the baseline. Umpire thought that they still had the opportunity.
Laptev to Kuriev though, up the other side. Come Russia. Intervention from Furlong, just takes it back, but still support coming up. Ooh. And a goal, a brilliant goal. Anton Konov, and back in it are Russia.
Textbook counter, absolute textbook counter. Wales potentially should have had a shot corner. You know, play on, long ball to the forward. He's done great to keep hold of the ball. He's done even better to win it back here and get control in the D. Finds his teammate, and this is a finish and a half. This is brilliant. Right into the roof of the net, just to the left of the penalty spot. That's a lifeline they need. Keeps them in the hunt. They can maybe settle a little bit and just wait for that goal. Like I say, they don't necessarily need to win. A draw is potentially enough. They would want to win, but a draw would be enough.
Yeah, moving on to 5 points, four clear of the Czech Republic. And well, what do we know about another 10-15 minutes or so? It's been a lively third quarter.
I think you'll find both teams will just settle here. They'll just think, right, 3 goals in 7 minutes. Let's just try and get ourselves on top of this game. Stop the shots and the opportunities coming in, and the Russians will think, let's not go too gung-ho and think we have to win it in the next 2 minutes. There's still 25 minutes of hockey to be played.
Neutrals in this though, we'd hope that doesn't happen, but we shall see.
Aye, definitely. Neutrals, everybody loves a goal, so neutrals will be thinking, you know, can we get another 9? You know, like the other day, but it might not pan out like that.
Dolan Gray likes a battle and involved in one again. Prosser down for Hutchinson. Furlong now, after his couple of goals for Wales, but stock being taken after conceding that. Go back from the Russians.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is that we are just taking the sting out of the game here. Wales happy just to be in the other half, but if they want to just control the ball a bit better, they're going to have to keep it in play and stop this type of situation in terms of the quick counter attack. That's where they got caught out last time. Done very well to control in the D and get away from danger, but they're definitely just going to have to, you know, find stick to stick, keep the ball in possession, and don't allow the Russians the opportunity to hit the space.
Turn away from Zalatinov. The body's back. Dolan Gray and Downey. Zalatinov again. Patient in towards Laptev. Taken from him by Mugridge.
So that's both teams back up to full strength.
Yep.
We've just seen Stephen Kelly go back on for the yellow carded Kyriakidis, so everyone's at 11, back to normal. Yeah, slow build up. So again, this is what I was talking about. They're quite happy. Just keep the ball in your outletting unit. Wait for the right opportunity, the right amount of space. Don't take too much risk. And again, Russia, they're not looking to press the game. You know, they're just quite happy to absorb the pressure in the key parts of the pitch. I think you might see that type of theme.
Skiff back throwing now. There's a counter-attack support coming off to the left.
Oh.
But it's an excellently taken goal. Maya Karulin. Man that does score goals, was joint top goal scorer at World League with Russia, and he's there. And what a turnaround, or certainly a comeback. It's 2-2.
It's this long ball again, so they played a long ball. The Welsh defenders tried to overtake, missed the trap, allows the space in behind, so they'll be disappointed, Wales. They've kind of brought that on themselves. They were building up in control, they had comfort on the ball, and they've just failed to execute a key bit of skill and failed to bring the right numbers back. That's an excellent finish. You know, he's kind of dummied and sucked the goalkeeper into trying to cover the pass with his stick. He's off balance, pulled the ball back and found the space to the net. So, you know, credit to Russia, well done. They fought back. They could have went the other way, but they've stopped the rot and they've got themselves back in the game and given themselves a chance for this semi-final spot.
Officially, the goal's been given to Pavel Pazetsky from the officials. I'm not kind of sure about that because the number 11 of Karulin was there, but that's what the officials are saying at the moment. Certainly the equaliser for Russia, and very good for them. And this quarter is definitely delivering in terms of goals and action. And we're back to fair and square go again, because again it's a result would suit both.
Yeah, it goes for both teams. You know, again, you probably see another step towards trying to control the ball, albeit that Russia scored when I called that it would maybe be a kind of calmer phase of play, but it suits both. I think Danny Newcombe, the Wales coach, will be probably more disappointed. I would say that they're capable of defending better than that, although the goals that were scored have been very good goals. I think he would be looking for his team defence to be a bit stronger and not really afford the Russians that type of opportunity when you're 2-0 ahead. So this is the type of situation where the Russians have taken advantage. This, you know, bad pickup, loose pickup, and then an opportunity to counter, albeit that the Welsh have won it back and tried to do the same.
Yeah, lapped it. Alf Dinney rather was winning that back and slid across, but by the baseline it goes.
Yeah, a second ago you see that the Russians are fairly set in their team defence, all bodies behind the ball, happy to defend at their half court. The Welsh team were playing it around the back, loose pickup, and then the Russians really pick up their energy and try and win the ball and go towards goal in the space. So they have to be careful. This type of situation, lots of people in the opposite half, and if they don't quite connect, Russia are more than capable, they've shown, to go and score.
Simon Matiakovsky. Turn from Zamalutinov. Russia with it, trying to ease down this clock possibly for this quarter. Launched by Skierski.
Nice pick up under control there. Welsh are obviously working hard to try and stop the players picking up the ball in these central areas.
Certainly feels like Russia got a bit more intensity at 2-2 than they did at 0-0. Maybe because they've scored 2 goals, they might well feel that they could even get a winner and they could top the group.
At this point, anything can happen, and the Welsh side have to be careful that they don't drift too far back. They lose a goal, and they could lose their top spot in the group. So they have to be careful. There's a bit of risk there. But as you said, the Russians, a goal was great for confidence. They know that they can get in the D and they can get goals on the board. So I'm sure they'll take heart from that.
Ball flung in by Daniel Kyriakidis, dotted away for a long corner. Plus they're getting told to get it in position as they try maybe find a chance, Wales, in the last minute of the quarter. Maybe a last chance of this quarter. Daniel Kyriakidis into a good spot. Here is Hawker. Hawker looking to turn and get it in, but came off Skapersky and further cleared. Kyriakidis in towards the edge of the D again. But nothing will come from that. Nice ball here for Kuriev in the final 10 seconds. Oh, it's just behind, but might still fall for Laptev. All sorts of things going on in the D. Can't just quite find the gap. There is the hooter. Wales just saved at the end, but nice little break right at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, a bit of chaos. They've not conceded anything, but it's not a good end to the quarter for Wales. They've conceded 2 goals after being 2 up. And they had to really fight there to make sure that they never gave anything away in the last 10 seconds. So again, a chance to take stock and just steady the ship, I think, for the Welsh, whereas the Russians will feel that they can get themselves into the game and even jump ahead to take that first spot in the group.
Here's some of the action or the goals from this quarter.
Yeah, that's a really nice corner. Low, a couple inches off the ground. It's very hard to get a stick there. Often the keepers will run the stick along the ground, and when it's got that sort of direction and height, really the keeper has to get his glove on it, his right glove. It's a bigger surface area, harder to get that to the corner, so it's a very good corner. This one's even better. Plenty of time just to pick his corner and right into the roof of the net.
Gareth Furlong, the man for Wales, gave him at that point a 2-0 lead. We were thinking, well, that's a convincing lead, but then Russia came back.
If you see, I don't know if we'll show that replay again, but if you look at the goalkeeper's position, once he knows it's going to that tower, he even steps to his right, and because of the power on it, he still can't touch it.
So that was 2-1. Anton Kornilov. And you just thought maybe the touch away just took it off stride, but managed to get it back and smash it.
It was a good finish, that first goal for Russia, so nice play. This one, I thought he was maybe a wee bit selfish at first, but you can't complain when they put it in the net. I thought he was potentially going to look for his teammate there working towards the back post, but
yeah, definitely that was Kai Rowland that scored that, but officially they've given it to Kozecki. Fairly certain it was number 11 Kai Rowland. See if we maybe filter that one through after the game.
Yeah, it was a good quarter actually. In review, 4 goals, everything still to play for. Hopefully a good end to the game. 15 minutes, both teams have got everything available to them. First place in the group, another 3 points, so I think we'll see a big finish.
Just a reminder in this pool B, as if it stays like this, Wales will go through as top and Russia will qualify for the semi-finals in second. Because at the moment, a point for each. It'll be 7 points for Wales, 5 points for Russia. Czech Republic have to play Switzerland, but can't obviously catch up with that. If Wales have to score, it gives the Czech Republic a chance.
You just seen there as the quarter ended that the Russians are very G'd up here. I think they can sense that there's a game to be won. They came out very energetic, very pumped up, so they're going for it. They're definitely going to have a go here. Nice pass.
Daniel Kereki just looking to get Prosa back alive, but not coming for him.
Russian player just on the ground there as he picked the ball up. I think it put him off a little bit, meaning the ball went over the baseline.
Tristan turn away. Sam Litvinov, but he goes backwards for Russia.
You know, the game's got the potential to get a little bit scrappy as well. Guys undoubtedly have put in a shift, and the conditions aren't easy either. You know, 18 degrees isn't exactly cold. It's not. I'm sure they've played in hotter, but you know, it's something to consider. So
It has felt a little bit muggy, maybe compared to yesterday. It does feel a bit close to the weather-wise.
yeah, there's that humidity in there, so you know, dehydration. I'm sure the guys are thinking about that, but the temperature, the humidity in the pitch, it doesn't make it easy to play, and that has an effect on tiredness. And if guys are putting even more efforts in this final quarter, you know, it's got the potential for the players to just make a mistake. That might be the difference for the winning goal.
That was a bit lax. Furlong couldn't get it, and Russia forward Kai Rulin looking for it, but Furlong cut it out. Shipperley for Wales. Roland Gray helping it its way. Oh, not quite coming through for Draper.
So again, you see Russia trying to put speed in the play. They're trying to get that ball going quickly and catch the Welsh before they can set up their team defence. So they're going to have to be very, very careful when they're attacking and building up, that they're not allowing Russia to counter too easily. So here we go. Looking to play a little bit longer, either through the air or, you know, trying to punch the ball through gaps in the pitch, trying to get from A to B as quick as they can.
Couldn't quite pick up Nikolai Komarov.
Can probably hear it through the kind of ambience of the stadium, but the Russian players on the bench, the coaching staff are putting a lot of energy into G'ing up their players and trying to get them to maximise their efforts. They're working very hard here.
Nice run from Hawker, just a little slip from Loganov. Just going to say, came back into the Russian possession. That actually worked quite well for the Russian captain.
Yeah, I think he went to ground on purpose there, and he's made a great tackle, but it's dangerous. You know, you go to ground in the 25, and if you don't win the ball, if you touch the man or touch the stick before the ball, there's a lot of risk that you could give away shot corners, and as we've seen, Gareth Furlong's more than capable of scoring them. So, but he took the ball, so there's nothing really more to be said.
That was loose, and Mayorov now for Russia. Loganov went forward. Here's the ball, is it? It's going to be for Zanlutinov with a free hit. Draper making sure he's back five. Nice ball in.
Yeah.
Kornilov tried to turn. Needed a bit of help. Didn't quite fall through for Proskaryakov. There's a sense there might well be another goal here. And at the moment it looks like it could be for Russia.
I think so. They're definitely putting more energy in the game, and you can see just for the body language that they're really going for it. But the Welsh need to be careful. You know, if they don't just stay in the game and weather this storm, they could be at risk of losing their top place in the group. I don't think they'll be too desperate to score, but probably more so just trying to keep themselves organised and not give the Russians the opportunity to jump ahead. So again, the Welsh are just happy to hold on to the ball, just happy to build up. Looks a little bit better because they're building up deeper, which offers more cover in their half of the pitch and allows their midfielders to be more connected and again in the right places if they lose the ball.
Also they well put it back. And there is Laptev to go backwards here. 8 minutes left in the game. 2-2. Result that suits both, but might well get another goal here. Matiakovsky is going to get this one back for a second time. They're just trying to be patient to think about this time, the Russians. Do decide to go long. Kozetsky, very good ball it was.
Yeah, we go another quick self pass, get the ball moving.
Mayarov on that side. Matiakovsky in space, spotted and found. Here he is once more. Got all the defensive black jerseys back. It's Nikitin in. Gooch tries to keep it away.
No, that's
Lutetsky
fine.
trying to get it in. Lutetsky, it's a nice run this. Kyrulin it was with the effort and goal and an unfortunate slip from Laptev.
I think the Welsh were just getting pulled around a wee bit too much, which allowed the space to open up around the top of the D. Unfortunately, he slips there as they're trying to keep the pressure on, but you know they're getting opportunities to shoot in the circle. So you know the chance is still there for Russia to win the game.
We haven't seen too many times Russia kind of be patient and play the ball around for a number of phases and then work something up. They've kind of tried to do things the counter-attack with a bit more pace and urgency. Do something a bit different.
I think that was because we've seen the Welsh weren't pressing, so they sat at half court. There was more space and the Russians have to bring the ball forward and almost forced to slow their play down.
Furlong trying to pick out a pass, cut out in the nick of time from the Russians. I think it was Proskarnikov that got in the way. Now Hawker trying to win it back for his Welsh side. Off Laptev. And it goes to Furlong from Daniel Kyriakidis.
Good recovery tackle. But you see, this is a risk for the Welsh side. Russia can counter.
Good run this from Proskarnikov, getting all the way into the D, firing around. Iron Wall had to jump like a startled rabbit to get out of the way from it hitting his foot. It's getting a bit stretched here.
Yeah,
Hutchison forward, now supporting Dinny. Prosser in the D. Prosser waiting in the D, but well rescued and darted away by Alexei Mariov.
Intense stuff. You know, both teams are quite happy just to throw people forward for the attack. But you can definitely see the game plan here is that the Russians are more than happy to sit at half court or men behind the ball and really go into the space.
Prosser found it into the D, taken on by Dinny. Come back to the Welsh, looking for maybe a body part, but will just be the long corner, and Prosser again trying to sneak a winner. They get 9 points out of 9. Daniel Kyriakidis helping his way by Hutchison. That's not a goal to anyone, Phil. Just over 4 minutes left, still 2-2.
This is when the efforts really matter. You know, I'm just watching as the replay's going on that there's a lot of changes going on. Russia trying to get a lot of fresh legs onto the pitch, maybe their best players for the final push. And it just seems a bit of disorganisation amongst the Welsh. They're quite stretched, big holes through the centre of the pitch. some players pressing, some players quite far back because the Russians are high up, so you just have to be careful. When you're tired, this is when it counts.
Dolan Gray. Golubev alongside, trying to stick it back. They thought they did, the Russians. Danny quickly with it. There's Daniel Kyriakidis. Prosa. Space to try and get by Komarov. Tense times here. Bounced up, and again Daniel Kyriakidis has worked into the D. Is it going to fall? Not quite for Mugridge. Draper trying to get it. Russians will try and clear. Prosa got a stick in there though. James Kyriakidis. Russians now starting to think about maybe defending. They know a point's enough.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused actually about why the Welsh are happy to have so many players far forward. Points enough. You're in control of the ball. Just, if I was coaching the Welsh team, I'd like to see just a wee bit.
Iron wall, nice ball. And across it went from Daniel Kyriakidis. Back it goes to Prosa. Pressing. That's a poor ball.
They're obviously still looking to score, but again, as I said, if I was coaching the Welsh team, I'd like to see a wee bit more cover when they're building up, and potentially no need to play so high. It just, the Russians have scored 2 goals from counter-attacks through, giving the ball away when tired. We'll try and nullify that and don't give them the opportunity to do it.
Final couple of minutes. A few nails being bitten on the sidelines and from the Czech Republic side, I'm sure, watching on. Their game next up against the Swiss could be academic if it stays like this in terms of the promotion chase and to get out of the group.
With a minute to go here, Russia obviously still keen to try and win the game. I think they would rather finish first, but don't forget the risk is that if they're just too naive about trying to win the game, they could also lose it, and that means that it opens the door for the Czechs. So at this point in the game, I would expect a wee bit more control for both teams, and knowing fine well that a draw's enough.
Russia seem to be sitting on the ball effectively. Wales pressing a little bit, comes back though, but I think it bounced up off the foot of Draper despite him protesting it was the stick. 30 seconds left, and for the Czech Republic watching on, they'll just be feeling these seconds tick away really quickly. Prosa though will try and get it back. Kai Rulin, sensible.
Well done.
Ball back though for Wales. Only 10 seconds left. Oh, almost stolen there. And that is that. And three sides will be in the semi-finals. A draw was enough for them. Wales knew they were through. It was just about where they'd finish in the group. Russia needed a point to secure their safety. And it means for the Czech Republic, who are next, the chance of trying to get out of the group is over. And the game against the Swiss will be rather academic.
It's just a good game all round, to be honest. Everybody got what they wanted. The Welsh would have wanted to finish top. The Russians would just wanted to make sure they got to the semi-finals. But, credit to the Russians. They've really had a go all the way to the end. They've been trying to score that third goal and get top of the group. So they've been probing, and Wales, again, credit to them, they've weathered the storm and clung on to their first position in the group. So both teams will feel happy, although they've had opportunities to improve on where they are. And unfortunate for the Czech Republic, that opportunity for the semi-finals is gone.
So then let's look at the goals, and Gareth Furlong with a couple from the penalty corner, which at that time we thought Wales might just be edging themselves and easing themselves to victory, but it was a period with yellow cards as well in that third quarter.
You know, after the 2 goals from Gareth Furlong, we were saying it could have went either way. The potential was that Russia came out heavy and could have received a couple more goals to really end their chances of winning the match, but they responded in the right way. They found the right balance. They've come in and scored the goals, and they've showed a lot of character actually in giving themselves an opportunity to carry on the tournament.
At this point it was 2-0, but then a well worked goal and good control. Just when you thought Furlong did enough defensively, put back in, Kornilov spin and turn and roof of the net.
Yeah, it's a cracking finish. Just looking at it, you know, the Russian forward's done great to get hold of the ball. Found his teammate. I just think, if we're going to be pernickety here, you know, the detail matters, but if you're going to really say anything, it's probably that the Welsh defender was too keen. Gooch just too keen to jump in front and allows the space on the inside.
So there it is, that was number 2, and I'm 99.9% certain that was Kai Rulon that scored it, but officially been given to Pavel Pozetsky, but he played the ball earlier in the move, so I'm definitely giving that one to the number 11 Kai Rulon. But that is how it finished, 2-2, as this is the schedule for the day. Switzerland against Czech Republic is next. Now, as we say, kind of academic, third and fourth still to play for. Czech Republic at least want to secure third place, it'll put them in a better spot. France and Portugal is later, as is Scotland against Ukraine in another pool. Just a brief thought, Stephen, about the rest of the day for the games ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this next game, as much as there's not semi-final places, you know, international teams don't just say, oh well, it's done. There's still the life within this division to play for, and as you said, they want that third spot. Switzerland have still got that available to them, so that one will not be a dead game by any means. And then later today, it's just trying to figure out the final placings in Pool A. Scotland will have a tricky game against Ukraine. They've definitely shown themselves in a good light, so they have to be professional to get the job done and finish top. They don't want to give France the opportunity to overtake them when playing Portugal. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be competitive, and I'm sure you know, everybody will be doing what they can to be where they ultimately want to be in the tournament.
Well, great to get your thoughts, Stephen. We'll see you again on Saturday on the final day, so thanks for popping along again.
Pleasure, no problem.
Thank you very much then to Stephen, and we'll be back ahead of the game at 2 o'clock. Switzerland against Czech Republic, still I'm sure pride and plenty to play for in terms of the relegation spots come the weekend, but neither of those sides will qualify through to the semi-finals. Russia and Wales have qualified here after a 2-all draw.